Welcome back, you legends of adventure, to another exciting day of Let's Playing Aidyn Chronicles. You know, I didn't think I was going to be able to go to college, and then I got some financial aid. Pun didn't work. Last we left off with, we were exploring the countryside on our way to Terminor. Today we will be continuing to do that. My cat, which is right there, you can't see her. Now you can see her. She is trained to come over and get attention the moment I start talking into a microphone. I don't know why. It's just what she does. So apologies if she's a bit distracting for me. Anyway, I believe we were traveling to Terminor and finding all of the wonderful things between there and here, between here and there. Including apparently Darken Bats. I just finished doing the dishes, and among the dishes was a bowl of suspicious looking chocolatey something. I've consumed it all, now I'm regretting it deeply. I don't even know what it was. I don't ask questions. I don't question the dishes' gifts that the dish gods give me. Pretty sure it was part of a cake my wife baked like a week ago. Anyway, if I just keel over and die, that's why. Let it be known, this recording will be my last will and testimony. Alright, what do we got here? We have... oh man, there's like 5 reinforcements still on their way. This is just annoying. Maybe Alaron can chuck things at them and scare them off. Or just outright murder them, that's fine too. Of course, these are giant bats. You do have to question, you know, like, I understand this is kind of a part of old D&D that gets lost a lot of times in the conversion from, you know, D&D or tabletop adventures in general over to electronic, is that a big part, especially of old D&D, like original first edition D&D and AD&D, a big part of the adventures were that you would encounter lots of low-level creatures. And partially this was because everyone was expected to roll a new character from level 1, you know, at the beginning of any adventure. Like, if your friend wanted to join, you guys were 5 levels deep into your characters. Your friend was expected to roll a level 1 character and then just try to survive with whatever shenanigans you guys were doing. And so partially it was more expected in older tabletop adventures that you would encounter a lot more lower level creatures, because at that point it became less important about whether or not the players could kill them and more just that they were like set pieces, and if the players wanted to remove them they would just murder them all and take their treasure or whatever. Anyway, so I think just given that this game seems to handle with a more of an older feeling traditional, what am I trying to say, like a more tabletop-esque style, they throw a lot of older creatures at you. Like, literally, the giant bat was one of the first of 2 creatures we were fighting since the beginning of the game. Giant bats and giant rats. And so, you know, from a game design standpoint, it's kind of a horrible idea. Like, why would you throw these pointless creatures at the players? It doesn't really do anything. It's a pointless battle. They're not going to get enough EXP to be worth it. They're not going to drop anything that's going to be useful. But I think that's why they exist in Aidyn Chronicles. I think that's kind of the tone that they were going for, the feeling they were going for. That being said, again, as an adult, with a finite amount of time, it is extremely frustrating to keep fighting the same old creatures over and over again. Unfortunately, I am no longer 12 years old. Okay, Mirari cloak and a random barrel in the middle of nowhere, accompanied by 100 gold. Anyway, unfortunately, I'm no longer 12 years old, and I am not satisfied by the fake sensation of power from the feeling I get when I kill monsters that I've been fighting from the beginning of the game in a couple seconds, but instead I just feel like my mortal time is slowly draining away. But oh well, we will still deal with it as it comes. There is more than enough good still to be explored and had here, mostly just this countryside. I really don't know this countryside. I know I said that, or rather I alluded to that in the last episode when we were traveling through the river. I said I didn't know where we were. I really don't know where we are. I really don't think that I've made it to this point in the game very often, and when I did, it was years ago. And I'm almost certain that after a certain point, I kind of stopped trying to explore everything. So it's very possible that we might even encounter a location that I've never seen. That being said, our intention will be to explore the larger part of the countryside. I see no reason not to. After all, I don't know how many other times I'm going to play Aidyn Chronicles. It's still my favorite game for the N64, but it is far too time-consuming. But enough negativity. We should focus on this epic fight between these boars and a random cyclops. So is the cyclops like a boar hoarder? Or a herder, not hoarder. I suppose he could be a hoarder. Although hoarders tend to have dead animals with them, not live ones. Apologies if anyone you know and care about is actually a hoarder. But yeah, we're just gonna dispatch these guys. I think the idea is that Aidyn, the world of Aidyn, is supposed to be this big open world, and it is. It's huge, especially for the 64. Now, of course, by today's standards, it's quite small, and sort of artificially it feels bigger than it is, just simply how slow Alaron moves, accompanied also by the numerous random battles that you fight. But like, it's still pretty big. I mean, really, when you stop and consider it, like, compared to a game like Nier Automata, for anyone who is a Nier Automata fan, and I know there are a lot of you out there who are, and I apologize, because I know there's a huge group of people who love the game. So if you love Nier, continue loving Nier. Don't let my comments sway you. But I did not like Nier Automata at all. And one of my complaints about it was the world, in spite of trying to be an open world, was so small. And it was so boxy. Like, even the locations you could go to were just these, they were like these squares, like these flavored squares. Like, hey, did you want abandoned city mixed with forest flavor? Did you want amusement park flavor? Did you want, you know, all these things? I mean, I stuck with the game and tried to beat the entire thing. I made it like 1.5 times through the game and then just gave up. But I'm getting down a rabbit hole. The point is that I actually think that the countryside of Aidyn might actually be bigger than all of the locations in Nier Automata. You certainly can travel through them faster in Nier than you can in Aidyn. But that being said, there's really no reason for you to want to before you need to go there in the plot, which is, I know I took 300 years to get here, but that was the ultimate point I was trying to get to, is that in spite of the world being this massive countryside that, you know, where are we even on the map? Oh, we overshot Terminor. Looks like we need to go further west. Good thing we checked. Anyway, in spite of being this massive, you know, countryside for you to run around and explore, like, I have no idea where we are. Some kind of mountain or something. There's not a good reason for you to go out of your way early and explore these locations, and that's part of the problem, which is also partly why I think they put some of these weaker creatures here, because they thought, well, you know, if the player wants to get adventurous and go off the beaten path, they might actually end up here at an earlier part of the game. We don't want them to get outright murdered by super powerful creatures, but we also don't want to imbalance the game because, you know, stronger creatures would give more EXP, and then there might be this really cheesy way to kill one of the more powerful creatures so the players could get buku amounts of EXP early or something weird like that. In general, it was probably done for balancing reasons as well, putting these weaker creatures out in the middle of the countryside, because the player can come out and travel to a lot of these locations before they need to. And I think there's something stopping you. Like, I think Port Said is actually the cutoff point, where right off the bat in the beginning of the game, if you try to go, like, Port Said prevents you from accessing the part of the map that we're on right now. Let's just take a quick look at the map, and I'll try and explain what I mean. So we've got Guernia up there at the top, and it might actually be Talawalk that cuts you off. So Guernia and Araman up there are on the east and west, respectively, in the northern side of the map. And you can see that big path down the middle, coming out of Talawalk. I believe early on in the game, Talawalk literally just won't let you in. Like, there's not even a dialogue. You just go up to the doors of Talawalk and click the A button to get in, and you just can't get in. I think that's how they gate the players early on, but once you get to the point where you can go through Talawalk, I'm pretty sure the rest of the map just opens up. Like, I think you could really go to Terminor if you wanted to before doing all that stuff on Chaos Island. You can't get into Ugarit? Not really sure how to pronounce that one. You can't get in there. There's a barrier that prevents you, but otherwise you can access, I'm pretty sure, the rest of the map. So they might have attempted to litter, you know, sort of litter the map with these not super deadly creatures. And to some extent, the enemy placement in Aidyn Chronicles is also a bit like, it's more than just game design. They're trying to tell, like, a story, or they're trying to create a setting with the monster placement. Sort of like why we're running into bats out here in the countryside. Also, that harpy, that totally random harpy we ran into in the cave that wasn't guarding nothing. You know, it was just a harpy cave, and that was enough. So it's also partially probably how they handle placing the enemies. That being said, it certainly does feel... I don't quite know how to describe it. Like, we're fighting these lizardmen. I think this is also a bit of a testament to the simplicity of the battle system and how it might have needed to be a little bit more robust than it is in order to maintain a good, solid feeling of adventure. Early on in the game is almost the most fun, because when you're fighting those ogres, when you're fighting the, you know, the goblins, the hobgoblins, they're a real threat to the party. Like, you can really die. And once you get to this part, well, you're really just not going to die. I mean, these lizardmen are not going to kill us. Not unless we do something really stupid and just sit around and let them hit us over and over again. And so, in a lot of ways, they're kind of just a mindless obstacle. Oh no, not in a lot of ways. They are a mindless obstacle. We don't have to think to fight them. And I don't know, perhaps that's a blessing in disguise. Can you imagine the amount of stress that the game would induce if you had to focus the same way we had to focus on the dire wolves early on in the game for every single fight? I guess I'm not asking for every single fight to be deadly, but I think it would be... I think it would increase, it would improve the game if at certain locations they put kind of weird, super powerful creatures. Like, even if they had to resort to using the exact same texture and the exact same model as, say, these lizardmen, if you could find like a group of super lizardmen, I don't know, maybe like lizardmen commanders, and they doubled their stats or something, and they put them in a place where you have to go off the beaten path to get to them. Like, you're not going to accidentally run into them, and you're not going to need to run into them in order to get from one point to the other, so they're totally optional. I think that would probably improve a lot of this. As it stands now, we even ran into those trolls, and the trolls were fairly harmless. And again, perhaps they did that just so that every area was accessible to the players right when they gain access to this part of the continent. But if they were going to do that, there needed to be more of a reason to branch out early on. The story in Aidyn Chronicles, as far as I know, is fairly linear. I could be wrong about that, but I'm almost certain that, like, you have to go to Port Said, you have to go to Chaos Island, you have to go back to Talawag. You don't really get a choice to do any of this. Now, if you could do the cities in any order, if you could do all of the plot in any order, then this would make perfect sense. And the game would be a lot more rewarding. But that would be a lot of work. And I know this game has tons of trouble already, just, you know, it's hugely unfinished, it's very awkward, it's clunky, but they still put a lot of work into this, so asking them to do even more work would be a bit unreasonable. I'd be interested to know the scope of this. Like, I'm fairly certain it was pushed back several times. It was supposed to be this quintessential RPG released for the N64, and, you know, the scale of it was just too big. Too big, and the platform they were trying to release it on was just too low-tech, probably. No, about what point did open world games really start to take off? Probably the PS3. About the point where games like Assassin's Creed really started getting popular. There were always open world games before that. Heck, Might and Magic, you know, for the PC was open world. And that, you know, had simpler graphics than Aidyn Chronicles. And it was just as big, if not bigger. So I don't want to act like open world games didn't exist before then, but they certainly struggle just due to, well, size limitations, really. I don't speak like I'm an expert on the matter. I am not. So I'm sure somebody else could give a much more compelling historical account of the nature of open world games, but... Okay, Curing Potion, Stealth Potion. Guarded by a lizardman up on the... what the... Guys? What is that? You know, you know how I said we just had that conversation about wanting super powerful creatures put on random locations? We're actually going to create a new save here. How long have we been playing? 35 hours, not too bad. I don't know what that is. I'm scared. Okay, let's just make sure we're healed up. I might have to eat my words. This might be a super powerful creature that I don't know how to kill. Oh, why did I do that? We need to heal Brenna. I guess the Marquis kind of fit that description, but I think that's why, you know, the Marquis, the Red Devil on the Chaos Island that we ran into, I think that's what makes the Marquis so much fun, is he is one of those super powerful creatures that you can't kill, that's optional, that you don't need to fight, etc., etc. So... okay, I guess we're gonna just go in here. I'm kind of terrified of this thing. It looks like an agent of death. We could always run away, right? A white. Huh. Oh, and zombies. Okay. So it's a single white flanked by 4 zombies. I think we can do this. We're just gonna... I do remember the whites now. I don't remember what they do, and I don't remember how strong they are, but I remember... And the zombies are actually not that threatening. The big thing about the zombies, and this is actually, I think, good design, because they feel like zombies. The big thing about the zombies is they can take a huge beating, and they take forever to kill, but they don't really deal a lot of damage back. So they're just kind of things that get in your way, which makes them feel like zombies. We should probably open up with... it's so boring, but I think we're going to open up with Air Shield. Just because I don't remember what these whites do. Yeah, they might cast magic, so this Air Shield might be useless. Okay, Rita can just boost everyone's HP. This might be over preparation. The whites might be pushovers, and I just don't remember it. What are the whites doing so far out of the swamp, though? So in the center of the area of Aidyn that we're in, there's a big swamp, and that's where most of the zombies live. Consequently, it's also where Shamsuk hangs out. Alright, Brenda's probably safe to come in here and pick off one of these zombies. Yeah, look at that. With only 39, dealt about maybe a third of that zombie's health. Oops, did not mean to skip Beckon's turn, but that's fine. Making the zombies stupider probably won't help. We'll just cast weakness. It'll drop them all by what, 20 HP? 10, 20? I can't quite remember. I think it's 20. Oh, worked on the white. Didn't expect that. See, I think this is cool. A cool part of the naming. I like that she can't cast weakness twice. Like, it's not straight damage, you're just lowering the enemy's stats. I just wish there was more she could do. Because I feel like after casting endurance and weakness, she just kind of sits around and twiddles her thumbs. Do we cast strength? Probably. We'll just cast strength, and that'll just help us cut through the zombies a little quicker. This will be a good test run for when we go into the middle of the map, into the swamp. Alright, dealing a lot more damage there now. We've taken like 10,000 turns. These zombies have not even taken a single turn. There we go. They must have like 5 dexterity. Oh, that is not good. Okay, so Alaron's been frozen doomed, so he's out of this fight for this, yeah, just out of this fight. We might need to refocus our efforts on the white, because he is now, I definitely identified as the main threat, and that is unfortunately what I was expecting. The whites are going to be a little harder to hit. Beckon is too close to this zombie to be able to land a hit on the white, so we'll have to have him finish. Oh no! And this zombie is getting in. Zombie is getting in Brenna's way. We'll slowly edge her closer to the white while stabbing the zombie at the same time. Second party member down. We could flee here. Well, look at it this way. He can only frozen doom one person at a time. We'll keep fighting with just Beckon and Brenna. But the moment he frozen dooms, the third character will leave. We'll go ahead and finish off this zombie because Brenna's probably going to deal more damage with a backstab than Beckon will. And that will free her up to backstab the white. Hopefully the white... He's got a Chaos Sword there in his hand. Hopefully he swaps over to just swinging that sword. Our heroes, Brenna and Beckon, can definitely handle... Oh, man. Yeah, we're gonna have to flee. Hopefully Beckon's turn comes around. We're just gonna leave now. We'll regroup. Okay, so not the end of the world. Definitely a stronger enemy. That was exciting. And I think we need to cast Verse Elemental when we come in here and ignore the zombies and go straight for the white. Where'd he go? Oh, there he is. We're ready for round 2, buddy. What? I guess we'll just flee and do that again. That's annoying. I love that fleeing is just automatically guaranteed to win. It's like they realized that anyone who saves the game is just going to reload the game file, so why bother making fleeing never work? Okay, the white threw away his first turn, which is very appreciative, or appreciated. We need Verse Elemental, I believe. I don't remember if Alaron's Verse Elemental is any good, though. No, it's garbage. Okay, good. Rita's got our reverse elemental. So we'll have Alaron throw strength down. As long as we just rush the white, I don't think we'll have any more trouble in this fight. We just need to knock him down to low enough stamina that he can't cast Frozen Doom anymore. We might even have Brenna not engage that zombie. In fact, I think we're going to put her right... We need to put her far enough away that she's not counted in melee range, so I think we're going to put her right here. Oh, zombie took a turn and passed. We're getting very lucky here. We're a little bit unlucky that Rita hasn't taken her turn to cast Verse Elemental. But that's fine. I don't know, we could try a Dragon Flame with Alaron, see if it does anything. No, not very much. It's about the average damage you would expect. Ugh, lower than average. And 27's a little on the high side for damage with Dragon Flames. Okay, so Beckon's he's gonna face the white. 12 HP and plenty more where that came from. The zombies are meandering around. Okay, Brenna's up. We'll be able to backstab this way. Okay, we're in a good position now. The white is flanked. Yes, we lost Alaron, but he already cast Strength. I don't know why Rita hasn't taken a single turn yet. Okay, here we go. But she'll be able to throw down Verse Elemental, and this fight will probably be over. Definitely a good test run for whites. I mean, if we ever run into more than just one, we're kind of, you know, a little bit threatened by that. A whole party of 4 whites might just be insurmountable. Should we invest in willpower? It might not be the worst idea to just do a mandatory everybody goes up to 20 willpower. Just to give kind of an across-the-board magic resistance to the party in case we ever did run into 4 whites at a time. You saw how long it took Rita to take her turn. There's no guarantee that Rita will take her turn quick enough to be able to throw down Verse Elemental. Can't really blame her, she's not the fighter. Alright, he shouldn't be able to cast Frozen Doom anymore, and he definitely will not cast Frozen Doom being dead. Zombies have decided not to fight anyone this time, and that's fine. Again, they're not really threatening, they're just kind of high HP targets that get in the way most of the time. There's a super zombie, but you'll be able to identify him because he's like the size of about the size of one of the ogres we fought. He's huge. Those ones can hurt, but they're the rarer of the zombie types. What is the average willpower of our characters? I also don't think zombies will ever run away from you, which is annoying. And it makes sense from a lore perspective, but... Who knows, Alaron might actually unfreeze. I think there's a small chance that they'll unfreeze, or perhaps it's a set number of turns until they unfreeze, but it almost never happens because the moment somebody gets frozen, the fight is either over or it's over for one reason or another. Either your party is dead or you've managed to kill all the enemies. So you almost never get a chance to unthaw. If you even can unthaw. I know you can break out of the Starlight Web. And that's dependent on your strength, because it's supposed to simulate you're either like cutting your way out of the web or yanking the web off. Not sure about Frozen Doom, though. It's fine. Alaron's probably okay over there, encased in ice. I feel like the party would go back over there and there'd be like squirrels on him or birds trying to nest in him or something. Alright, well that was fun. That wasn't a super fight, but it was a more challenging fight that we actually had to think about, and I appreciate that. So I suppose I'll need to go back a little bit on what I was saying about there not being any interesting fights. That one was that was fun. That was well placed. Alright. Oh, that should be Terminor, right? Are we that close? I thought we were a ways off. No? That's it. Southwest. Yeah, that's the direction we're looking. Cool. Well, we'll be over there in just a bit. We're gonna walk around a little bit more. Looks like that's that river that we followed. Maybe? Or is that a different one? It's a little hard to tell. No, I think that is the one we followed. The one where we got the photosynthesis ring. By the way, I looked up what photosynthesis is supposed to do. Apparently, it heals your stamina slightly. Or something. But only your stamina and only during the daytime. So, supposedly Brenna should heal her stamina in a fight. As long as it's during the day. I wouldn't know. Makes me wonder if we should give it to Rita or Alaron, though. So they can cast more spells. But it's probably not a big deal. The amount it heals is probably so low that it's still just better off on Brenna. It's not like we find ourselves running out of stamina very often. For our casters, anyway. If we do, it's usually because I forgot to heal them. Probably even at this point of the game, ogres provide a decent amount of EXP. For as easy as they are to kill, I always feel like they're a little bit inflated in the EXP value that they give you. You know what, we'll take it, because there are plenty enemies that are annoying to fight that give you hardly any EXP. I'm looking at you, wyverns. And Draco Verns. Seriously, for an enemy that can instant kill you with Starlight Web, the fact that they're worth so little EXP is just criminal. Ogres, on the other hand, are giant teddy bears. As long as they're not, at the beginning of the game when you don't have the armor to tank them, they're never gonna hit you. Alright, so we've got haste and Starlight Shield, Spirit Shield, which is gonna be annoying. What can you do, though? What I'm actually worried about is that we're gonna walk all the way over to the side of the map and then like one guy is gonna spawn in where we just left, so I'm gonna leave Beckon behind in case like one dude spawns in. He scores a critical hit on Rita. Oh boy. Well, they're at least fighting back. Haste. More haste on the guy who just entered combat. Beckon's gonna stay behind. Brenna nearly done with her journey across the map. Alaron dealing a lot less damage to the ogre ever since they put the shield on him. Alright, so there's shield on the bandit that entered the fight. Tap stamina, not terribly exciting, especially because we haven't hurt that bandit yet, so he's not really getting anything off of it aside from the damage to Alaron. We could drop a fireball, I suppose. The ogre flees in the middle of the map. Somehow. That's fine, I guess. Tap stamina from Rita across the map again. Oh. Oh. Hang on. Those are fighting words. Well, crap. What's Alaron's verse necromancy? It's 8. Okay. Hopefully that's enough. So it's too late to save Brenna. I think you can break out of Wall of Bones as well. I'm not sure if it's strength-based or not. I don't remember. Probably is. But hopefully this will allow Rita and Alaron to resist. I'm a little annoyed we didn't take Beacon with us now. We're gonna try Stupidity, because I don't want them to cast any more Wall of Bones. It's actually working. I think this might be the first time I've ever used Stupidity in a fight that mattered. I'm amazed that it actually applied to them. Alright. They might have cast Starlight Shield, but they didn't cast Mirror. So we could still fireball them. As long as we don't hit Brenna. Alright, respectable. Yeah, less respectable. Nice, okay. So, through a combination of the Stupidity spell and Verse Necromancy, Rita was able to resist the Wall of Bone spell. It's also nighttime. Alaron probably should heal. Oh no. Okay, I thought he was shooting Brenna. Alaron should heal. He's probably fine, just because these bandits actually just have their bows out, so they're not going to be able to hit him with a melee attack without first switching to a melee weapon. But I'd rather not take any chances. We are going to move Beacon across the map. This is also going to allow Alaron to continue to cast Fireball. Are we able to get... And the problem is Brenna's in there. Okay, looks like we got all 3 bandits without any party members stuck in there. Resist. It does appear to be nighttime. I would assume the bandits are lunar aspect. Alaron is solar, so he's going to receive a disadvantage here. The only character who has an advantage is going to be Beacon. Of course, the character we left across the map. Bandit boss fails to cast, probably because of the stupidity that... Okay. Alright, you know what? I will admit, in this particular fight, Rita's stupidity spell is very valuable. Look at that. Resists the spell. They're more than likely getting more resists than normal, partially because of the Verse Necromancy and partially because of the stupidity. I would assume intelligence increases, or rather decreases, your opponent's ability to resist a spell, right? So by lowering... we could probably just check that here. Chance of successfully casting spells. That's not the same thing as your opponent resisting the spell, though. Alright, so no, it's only when they fail to cast that the stupidity spell is factoring in. Otherwise, it's the Verse Necromancy spell that matters. Again, we're just trying to get 3 bandits without hitting Brenna. Another resist. That bandit boss, very resistant to the fireball. The other 2 bosses seem to be very susceptible to it, though. Yeah, I think at this point we've won. Band boss flees, he knew what was up. Even with Brenna, one of our main damage dealers, out, I don't think these guys are going to be able to do anything else. We're not dealing very much damage because of their Starlight Shield, or sorry, Spirit Shield. But we're still consistently dealing damage, and that's what's important. Okay, but, you know, 1 damage is probably not quite where we want to be. I wonder if there's a way we can debilitate him. Strength. I think we already cast Strength. Can't really dispel what he's got. But we'll just cast Immolation for fun. Not deal damage over time or something. A lot of resistance on the spells. Can you stack Immolation? I wonder. No, it won't let us cast it on the same target again. But could we do Immolation and Acid Bolt? Well, maybe, except our Acid Bolt is such a short range because we haven't leveled it up. Oh, there we go. Boy, the poor guy is taking all the DOT. I don't think it's gonna matter though. I don't even see any numbers popping up above his head. Is he even getting hurt by those spells? Okay, 4 damage. Oh boy. Well, to be fair though, it's better than the 1 damage he was doing with the Dragon Fang. It's particularly... oh no, he healed. Particularly annoying that we lost Brenna just because she was definitely the one who would be dealing a lot of the damage here. We have a Dispel Necro spell. We could try dispelling this dude's... oh, not enough stamina to cast, okay. We'll have to give Alaron some more stamina. Oh, he took 6 that time. 6 from the DOTs. Alright, now let's try dispelling the necromancy on this guy. Did it work? Dispel Necro fails. Wait a minute. You can cast Dispel Necro on your party members? Hold up. Let's try to Dispel Necro on Brenna. I don't think I've really ever seriously tried to cast Dispel Necromancy. This is probably pointless, but I just don't want Brenna to die. The bandit boss swapped to his melee weapons. I'm a little nervous. We probably don't need to be nervous, but this is just insurance. I suppose we probably should have healed Rita as well, but... okay, maybe it was insurance that was well placed. Jeez. Alright, you know what? I take it back. They did put stronger monsters in here. I should stop complaining. I don't know what I'm talking about. This is perfectly fine. All of this is fine. Alright, Alaron has 120,000 EXP. We're definitely giving this guy... oh my goodness, still not enough for Wizard 9. Why is Wizard so expensive? My goodness, Wizard 10 costs 150,000. What's our willpower? 16, 10, 15. Okay, so our willpower is garbage. Let's just put everyone up to 20 willpower, right? That makes sense. This will just help overall. It's not even going to cost that much either, compared to what we've been getting lately. There. Maybe we'll raise that to 30 later, but for now that's good enough. Kind of want to raise Brenna's strength, but no. We're going to focus on getting that last level of Thief. Rita and Alaron are just going to dump points into Wizard until they get to 10. Back in. We'll just continue to master Hafted and Shield, considering he doesn't really have anything else to do. A lot of gear, none of it really good. A lot of gold. 11,000. Jeez. Those bandits were loaded. We're gonna go ahead and just sleep that fight off, particularly because it's nearing nighttime and we want our lunar aspected people to be at their peak. 150 gold. It's just nothing compared to the 11,000 we just picked up from that fight. Okay, so this is the path to Terminor. We're gonna then ignore that for a moment, just kind of walk around, see what we can find over here. The desert-looking cliffs might be a sign we're getting a little too close to Ugarit. No, we're not even close to Ugarit at all. Jeez, it's halfway across the continent. Never mind. I guess those are just weird-looking cliffs. So this river is helpful because it's definitely what we've been able to use to orient ourselves. But we went up this river, but we didn't. I don't think we climbed over there. So we're gonna go back across the bridge and see what we can find over that way. Hopefully it's going to be more than just this tree. Very quiet. Oh, this is where we fought the white. We don't need to go up there. Let's try this narrow pass up these weirdly colored cliffs. Jags, whatever you want to call them. Oh, have we been up here? I feel like maybe we've been up here already. If we find an empty treasure chest, we certainly have been up here. Well, I don't see one. A single bush. I want to know who put that bush up there. There's our cave. Oh, what was that? Might have just been ambience. I just hear this bird calling. Yeah, okay, so it looks like we're going to need to take that stone bridge across and take the path up in the that-away direction. So as long as we don't cross the stone bridge, we should be okay. Oh, it's not going to let us go down from here. That's annoying. Let's orient ourselves before we travel down. So where are we going to want to go? I don't really see... I hear footsteps. I bet they're below us. Alright, let's go to that tree. That will be our point of orientation. Still hearing those footsteps. Okay, so we made it to the tree. Footsteps stopped. It must be too far away from whatever was making them. Alright, this just looks like the end of the cliff. We'll go back down and circle around this jagged... oh, So we found the source of the footsteps. Chaos Sorcerer. These guys might have been threatening at the beginning of the game, but they're old hat now. We won't even waste the spells. Stormer fails to cast. Probably Earth Smite. Well, these are spell weavers. I can't remember which one casts Starlight Web. One of them does. I want to say it's the sorcerers, right? Oh, this poor Stormer. He's having a bad day. He just wants to... Holy crap, 3 times in a row. Yeah, the Spellweaver is going to throw down Mirror, but we don't really care. We aren't intending to use any magic on them. Their Mirror spell must also be relatively low because they're only casting it on one person at a time. It does feel nice to be able to fight certain chaos creatures without really any need to worry. Whew, 72. With HP that low on both targets, they won't be able to cast magic anymore. This fight's over anyway. I would feel bad for them if they weren't trying to kill everyone and steal Alaron's soul. Check behind this cliff. Or it's not even a cliff, it's a slight hill. Okay, again, nothing. We can circle this larger cliffside, although something tells me we're not going to find anything interesting. Could be wrong. Some herbs. It'll be useful if we actually needed them. Footsteps to our right. Possibly something up on the cliff above us. Oh, I think we're nearing the swamp. We might need to head back. Yeah. We could go to the swamp now. Nah. Another time. Instead, let's section off this last part of greenery. That way when we do go to the swamp, we don't need to mess with any of this over here. Oh, is that an abandoned teleporter? Look at that. I think that's an abandoned gate. Interesting. Yeah. No, that's not a glitch. We're just in water, but the water doesn't make any noise, and there's no splashing, and yeah, it's just a flat, unmoving texture. But we're in swamp water, guys. Use your imagination, for cripe's sake. Come on. Where's your sense of childish creativity? Oh, there's a chest up there. Cool. Probably contains 150 gold. It's guarded by a troll. Alright, Mr. Troll. We'll fight you for your a single troll. You could just leave, Mr. Troll. I'm more just curious what's in your treasure chest. If it's just gold, you can have it. We'll just leave it there. I'm not interested in your gold. Nope. Apparently no questions were asked. We just ran up and immediately murdered him. And now we're gonna take his stuff. Oh, Wall of Bones. Okay, that's a little... Yeah, well, not a little, quite a lot better than gold. So currently the only person who can cast Wall of Bones on our team is Alaron. And there we go. We now know Wall of Bones. Target is completely immobilized by a Wall of Bones. Only requires an herb? Wow. You would expect, you know, in a game with only 3 spell components, you would expect a spell like Wall of Herbs. A spell like Wall of Herbs would be pretty funny. There's some spice over there. I don't think we even care, though. Wait, I thought I saw some spice. Yep, there it is. Phasing in and out of existence. We don't really care about it, though. Yeah, Wall of Herbs would be funny. No, in a game with only 3 spell components, you would expect Wall of Bones to cost the most expensive one, the spice. But what do I know? A troll, do we care? He's basically walking EXP. I don't think we care. I think we just leave that troll. I hear something walking. It's driving me nuts. It sounds so close, but I don't see it. Oh, it's the troll? Oh, he's just gonna let us go. Oh, I swear I didn't hit anything. I was okay with the troll letting us go. I mean, the trolls don't give terrible EXP, it's just more like we don't need it. I mean, really, we don't. 2700 isn't bad for a single target, but yeah. Okay, so Brenda's gonna become a master thief now. There it is, we have it. Her thievery knows no bounds. Alaron, meanwhile, still probably does not... Nope, does not have enough. For wizardry, we'll have to just sit on that for a little while. If we go too far in this direction, we'll just end up back where we were. But I don't think we quite covered... Yeah, there's a chest up there, I just saw it, that we didn't open. So we haven't quite been here yet. Oh, Spirit Wolf. Spirit Wolves aren't going to really pose much of a threat to us. But it is impressive to run into one out here. I wonder if we could just nuke them. It's nighttime, so we're gonna lose our solar aspect bonus, but still worth a shot, probably. Nuts. Probably a combination of them being lunar and us being solar. Very poor spell cast here. Yeah, pretty rotten. We're gonna go straight for that Spirit Wolf, take him out as soon as possible. Alaron, I guess we'll just chuck things. And hopefully that wolf that's held back in reserve just runs away. At this point, we're only attacking them because it's quicker than just waiting for them to run off the map. With Alaron's amazing aim, as he hits things he can't even see yet. Very dangerous trap. We'll make sure Brenna has stamina to disarm this. Yeah, she's at full. Oh. 750 gold. The chest that has a very dangerous trap only has gold in it, and the one that was not dangerous had wall of bones. Checks out. More herbs. Doesn't look like there's anything over there. I'm reminded, not for the first time, that I think there were like 2 or 3 chests around Araman that I said we were going to come back for, and we never did. Oh well. I still don't think we're going back for them. Eventually, if we go far enough in this... Oh, come on, I don't want to fight a bat. If we go far enough in this direction, I think if memory serves, we're going to run into an alcove. If we hit that alcove, then we know we've already been here. Why did we get 1350 EXP from that bat? Was it a darkened bat? It looked like just a regular giant bat. Well, that's not an alcove, but I'm still fairly certain we've been here. Maybe not. Hold on, let's keep going. I mean, sorry, that is an alcove. It's just not the alcove that I remembered. Oh, we definitely have been here. This is where we first started coming this way. Alright. Well, we'll just make the journey back. I think that might have been the alcove, that right there, that I was thinking of. So in this part of the countryside, what did we find? Found a white. That was pretty cool. A lot of lizardmen. A ring of healing, wall of bones. I think that was about it, though. All together. I'd say that's good enough. I know I basically did nothing but complain and moan about only finding gold and treasure chests, but there was enough unique gear out here. Even just the 2 items is enough. I think there's also, you know, danger of when you put too much unique gear in a location, so the player is just constantly tripping over magical artifacts, and that can feel disingenuous. So it's probably better to err on the side of only sprinkling in fewer magical gear and artifacts than more. Do we even want to fight this? Probably not. We don't need the herbs. At this point, I just kind of want to run to the edge of the cliff and look around. Manticores, I believe, will poison you if they hit you, but it doesn't really matter. They're not going to do enough damage for it to be meaningful. So that one manticore fled and then turned on Beacon. Guess he momentarily regained his morale. So the swamp is that way. Ah, and there's that tree we oriented ourselves to. Excellent. So we came all the way over there. I think we can confidently say we have explored all of this area now. Gotta find the sweet spot where we can actually go down. We're stuck! There we go. Now just time for the long hike back to the stone bridge and across. Oh, and I hope we can go down from here. We cannot. Come on, Alaron, what's a bit of scuffed knees? There's that bird. The bird seems, even though it's ambience, the bird seems to be, the sound effect is scripted to only play sourced from a single location. That's why it plays in stereo, if that makes sense. Like, I hear it more in this ear than that ear. Now I hear it behind us. I'd have to imagine that in the code you can probably, or the engine that runs this, you can probably select a location to emanate a sound. More spice that we probably can't use, so I'm just going to leave it. There's the path to the river. Here's our stone bridge. Wait, hang on, is that actually Terminor? No, I don't think it is. That's like old Terminor. This is like burned down, forgotten Terminor. So you remember they were talking about Maxwell. I think that's why we're going to Terminor in the first place. We're going to Terminor to talk to Maxwell. And the reason we're doing that is because he was the first wilding, or maybe not the first, but he was the wilding before Alaron was wilding. We need to go talk to him. I don't remember why. I think Ardra told us to. Probably just to learn from him. So I know that the exciting thing is back there. We're gonna check out and see what's over here on this part of the countryside, since I'm hoping this is a dead end. We can just turn around and mark it off the list. It's gonna be a long walk, though. There's the river again. Huh. A stone? Weird. What if they just put those stones there just to prevent players from moving through there? Perhaps in the original creation of the terrain, you weren't restricted from passing through that location. And somebody was like, hey, put some rocks there. What's this? Interesting. Some sort of cave. But it doesn't look natural. It looks man-made. It doesn't look like it's part of Old Terminor. Huh. Where do we go? Do we go to Old Terminor or to this random cave? The cave is to the east. I don't think it leads to Terminor. No, we need to go west to get to Terminor. Let's see what's in this cave. There's footsteps. They seem to be coming from this direction. I think the sound is all messed up in this game. Every time I hear footsteps, it's like I identify them from coming from completely the wrong place. The footsteps sound like they're coming from behind us, but I bet they're up here. Yeah. So apparently there were just some bandits camped out in front of these, we're gonna call them ruins, because I don't know what else they are. The entrance to this ruin cave. They appear to just be normal human bandits. Nothing really impressive. The boss, of course, throwing haste and probably Starlight Shield? Spirit Shield, I keep calling it the wrong thing. So we'll just make sure to kill him first. That way the other guys aren't extremely frustrating to try and hit. We have a fleet. One bandit decides to be loyal and tries to protect his boss. Bandit boss doesn't have enough stamina to cast any more magic, so he shoots an arrow, sorry, at Alaron, dealing 19. It's not a small number. Not for a bow anyway. Hopefully that scares off the rest of them. No. In fact, they have dragon fangs of their own. Frustrating. Perhaps we can get close enough to fireball them and scare them all away. I don't think they're going to kill us, but I'm getting a little nervous every time they throw one at Brenna. She doesn't have a shield. Of course, I say that, Alaron does have a shield, and he's the one who keeps getting hit. Critical hit. Surely I don't understand how critical hits work in this game, because every time it says critical hit, it does something like super low. I don't know about you, but I'd expect a critical hit to do more than 6 damage. So engaging them all in melee range is going to force them to swap over to their melee weapons. Or that one can just ignore Rita. Oh right, because Rita takes a step back when she melees. So she didn't capture him in the smaller cone of movement. Alaron, just nuke them. Wow, managed to get a hit. Even with all those points we put into shield for Beacon. That's probably why Alaron got hit though so many times. I bet his shield skill is really low. And that takes care of that. We're gonna camp just because it's nighttime. I'm also gonna take a save state. Mostly because it was pausing during that fight, and that was making me nervous. I was afraid it was gonna crash. Alright, what's in this cave? Oh, a minotaur? Or no, sorry, a hobgoblin. Huh. So the bandits and the hobgoblins are working together. Goblin Poisoner. Hello darkness, old friend. Rather disappointed that Alaron seems to just not be casting his magic at a proficient enough level to affect more than just 2 of them. Are these like super goblins? No, they seem like the same goblins we were fighting way back at Araman. Although I don't know, this hobgoblin might have a different shield. Does he? It's been so long I can't remember. Maybe they're just the same. Aidyn Chronicles has a habit of giving monsters the same name but updating their stats, giving them different equipment, so it can be difficult to tell one monster from another. Although no, these guys are dying pretty quickly. I think they're just the regular poisoners and sergeants we were fighting way back when. Alright. 11,000 EXP, dragon leather, which would be exciting if we needed it. Some bunk beds. Who was using those beds? Had to have been what, the one human bandit boss? Why just put the one pair of bunk beds in here? I guess that was it. That's just so strange. Was this a cut dungeon? A cut location? What was supposed to happen here? Was this just a placeholder for something more important later? You'd have to think that's what it is. I mean, there were like at least 8 bandits out of the entrance. Hobgoblins aren't going to fit on that bunk bed. That's just so weird. Sorry, I'm going to run around the walls hitting A, seeing if there's a secret passage or something. It just feels so weird. Like I was getting all excited. No, that's it. Just a random cave with... Oh, did they drop their treasure? Okay. A single gemstone and 100 gold. That's laughable. That was it? Huh. Must have just been the abandoned ruins of some place. Oh, great. The abandoned ruins of some place. occupied by several squatters who had to fight over the one bunk bed when it came time to sleep. So this is going to be an annoying fight, just because they've already set up haste and spirit shield on themselves. Could counter it by having Alaron cast strength. In fact, I think we're going to do that. Is Alaron able to hit 4 targets with strength yet? I don't think so. I have to put a couple more points into it. So, Ali is actually a little low on HP there. Tap stamina, taking a generous portion of his stamina HP. That's fine. Once we start engaging these bosses in melee range, they're going to be a lot less threatening. Oh, look at that. Dealing about 20 damage, I would say. Stolen with each cast. Hard to tell exactly. Because we could check a... bring up the menu and just check. 58, so... why can't I do math? 7... so it's more like 17. So that's close to 20. Brenna might be a better example. Yeah, look at that, 17 on both. So whatever their stats are, they seem capped with their tap stamina spell at 17. Oh, great. That's not what we need. We're gonna see if... well, actually first, we're gonna have Alaron cast first Necromancy to prevent more of those shenanigans from happening. Then we're gonna see if we can dispel Brenna's Necromancy. The wall of bones around her. Oh. Wow. Okay. That might indicate the time to leave. Or we could just be stuck here. Talk about good timing on that save point. Yeah. Alright. So, normal Aidyn Chronicle crash. We'll just load that save point here. We gotta fight these scrubs again. Hang on. I'm just gonna pause this and we'll be back. Okay, so we're back again. We'll just treat that as if we had fled from the fight, because that was definitely what I was considering doing after Rita got Wall of Bones. So instead, this time, we'll open up with Stupidity, I think. I'm starting to see the value of Stupidity. Especially if it causes these guys to fail a lot of their casts with Haste and Spirit Shield. I could definitely see why Stupidity would be useful. Because it's not like we're gonna lose this fight. Not really. I mean, maybe if we got Wall of Bones and everybody just died that way, then sure, but Having to fight through the spirit shield is just annoying. And the haste and everything else. We're gonna try verse necromancy again. Didn't seem to help us last time, but I'm sure somewhere deep under the hood there are numbers this gives us that help us resist Wall of Bones. Or it could just all be a placebo. Alright, successful cast on haste, a little annoying. But what can you do? Wait, actually, we should have Brenna focus on the one with the red bow, because he's the one who casts Wall of Bones. Come on. Come on, I know we can do this. There we go. Because that way I think that counts as a backstab, even though she's weirdly off to the side. So, it looks like Spirit Shield is going to go up. We got that juicy hit on the red bowed bandit before he got it. Small consolation. We also just might have Alaron do nothing but cast Dragon Flames, I'm not sure. 64? What? Why so high? My goodness. I don't understand, but I will take it nonetheless. I mean, that trivializes this fight, doesn't it? You don't suppose... No, it's not because we lowered their intelligence. Stupidity lowers intelligence, not willpower, right? Maybe I should test that. Or just check it. Yeah, it loses... It lowers their intelligence, so... It shouldn't have any effect on willpower. Although, if we had a spell that lowered enemies' willpower, I would definitely use it. But I don't think we do. They should call it, like, despair or something. Oh, come on, bandit boss. I don't want to fight you. Can't you just leave? We're gonna just send everyone over there, because otherwise he's just gonna stand over there and shoot us with a bow over and over again. As we slowly plod everyone over. Alright, he decides tapping stamina is the right route to go. So he's dealt 34 damage. That's respectable. Between his two targets. Spirit Shield keeping him safe. That's so sad. Come on, Brenna. That's better. Oh boy, 2 damage. Of course, he's just gonna heal 17 of it back. Oh, Brenda's not actually behind him. She's not getting that backstab bonus. You know, Dragon Flames worked earlier. I wonder if it'll work again. Are humans just weak to fire? Oh wow, we have 99 carrying potions. Awesome. We'll never want for healing again. Okay, so these runes have no point, which is disappointing. There's a big hole over here. Oh, crate and a manticore. An extremely dangerous trap. We'll disarm that. Just a bunch of stealth potions, not really useful at all. And manticores and a harpy, or two. They are picking on Alaron. Actually managing to get hits off. Huh. That's a little annoying. I don't know if Alaron will have enough stamina to cast anything now. I mean, we'll give it a try. Yeah, we got it. I don't know why Dragon Flames is doing so much damage tonight. It's usually kind of garbage. What is that, 4? Oh, just flee, Harpy. You don't need to die today. Nope. She's angry. She's gonna keep fighting the good fight. Gonna have to heal off the damage that, stamina damage that Alaron lost. Kind of funny that, they actually did deal some damage back. Oh, a small pouch? Charisma potion. About as useful as a stealth potion, which is to say not very much. Is this a dead end? There's a bat. Maybe we can avoid it. Nope. You can make them darken bats all you want. They're still annoying and they're still not going to kill us. I know I keep saying that. I guess it's an established point. I can stop saying it. I'm sorry. Truly, though, I am not really certain what's around the bend of this cliffside. Could be a dead end, it could be another path, could lead back to the swamp. I'm not really sure. Goodbye, Mr. Darkenbat. I think Rita has enough to gain level 10 in Wizard, which is an impressive amount of EXP. There we are, maximum in Wizard. Alaron's got that level 9. Well, technically level 10 because of the +1. Maxed out Half-Dead for Beckon. Following close behind will be the Shield after a little bit more EXP. Brenna, meanwhile, probably just going to max out Wizard. Get those big, beefy skills, the ones that cost the most EXP, out of the way. I don't see anything down there. Stupid tree. Looks like the ocean. And another pathway into an expanse of empty space of which I am not sure where it leads. We really got off the beaten path. Okay, so there's a new Terminor. Not new Terminor. There is Terminor. There is the ruins. Let's go back to the ruins. Why does this bush have... Oh, that is funky. The bush seems to have red berries in it. Also, we have been accosted by a group of Cyclops and bandits. Pearl Star displaying its low accuracy there. Even when behind Beckon, it still results in a miss. We'll probably end up trying to toss out a fireball against these incoming bandits. We might even split the party here. Leave Beckon and Rita behind. The Cyclops blinks. I don't think I ever noticed that. We'll continue to assault them even though they're fleeing, just to hopefully lower the morale of the ones that are in reserve. Sometimes you can get lucky and they'll flee the fight even before entering it. And it looks like one of the bandits entered into this corner of the map. And we'll toss out our Dragon Flame here and hopefully just dispatch them all. I'll be honest, that feels good. We've certainly spent enough time leveling up our wizard and spells, skills. To get a bit of a return on the investment is satisfying. Carrying around a small armory with us. Anyway, I don't think there's anything actually important about that. Oh, it's a tree. About that bush. It just looks funny. I guess that bush does it too. Slightly dangerous trap, no problem for Brenna, the master of lockpicking. You, pause, Brenna, pause, master of lockpicking, should take these lockpicks. I wonder if Brenna and Jill Valentine would get along. Maybe they wouldn't even care about each other. Just completely indifferent. Interestingly, they're both in games with zombies. What did we run into this time? Oh, the spirit. He's speaking in English this time. Looking for me? Spirit. Who sends you? I'm sick of looking for you. Tell me, spirit. I'm pretty sick of looking for him, so we're going to select that one. Very well. Oh no, he just leaves? Spirit, answer me. Spirit? Come back. I didn't actually expect him to just leave. I feel a little bad now. Like perhaps there was some information we could have gotten from him. Some dialogue that would have meant something. Oh, more bandits. Leave us alone, bandit. No. So many. Is this necessary? Well, now that we know that humans are susceptible to fire, a fact that previously unto me was unknown, we'll just go ahead and burn them all. Good golly grief. It's that 1 point in wizard we placed. Yeah, okay. Well, this fight is over. It's definitely nice to get him before they put the shield on. We'll get Alaron set up to intercept the ones that are coming into the fight. Oh, I think I saw a 1 on Brenna. So she healed 1 HP due to photosynthesis. She successfully converted using the, what is it called? It's been like years since 5th grade biology. The mitochondria? Is that what allows plants to use photosynthesis? Somewhere out there, my 5th grade biology teacher is just... She's probably not rolling in her grave. She's probably not dead, I would assume. I don't know. I don't keep up on my elementary school teachers. Or middle school teachers. Ah! 53. Ah! This will only get better once Alaron finally hits 10 in Wizard. Considering that it will, like, technically be 11. He's already 10 in Wizard. Harpies joined the fight, deciding not to flee. Their loss. Of course, they're annoyingly going to stand around casting tap stamina. Brenna, just stay back there, Brenna. You know, Alaron really is coming into his own here. It only took us 35 hours. He's kind of single-handedly fighting these fights. Now, admittedly, they're against very weak enemies. But it certainly makes cleaning up fights like this a lot more manageable. Or faster, I should just say. Finally, our harpy fled. I was starting to think that they couldn't flee. That perhaps, like the zombies, they were incapable. We seem to be fine, though. A lot of EXP for that. Alright, so instead of, if we hadn't gotten sidetracked with those ruins, well, it wasn't even the ruins, it was just a random patch of cliffside I decided to go down. We would have came up here and seen what? The ruins of Old Terminor. Quite the destruction. You have to assume that this walkway must have extended somewhere. Perhaps even to that stone in the ocean there. Oh, another bandit just chilling. We'll allow him to chill. If we can. Probably not. So this would have been what? The main entrance to the city gates? A temple of sorts? Can't go in here anymore. What do you know? More bandits. So if I had to go through this game again, we're not even finished with this playthrough. I'm starting to think a team of all elemental mages might be fun. If you just go into every fight and everyone just does nothing but cast fireball and dragon flames. Problem is the early parts of the game would be pretty rough, I think. Plus monsters with a lot of resistance, you really need a fighter or someone. Or like someone like Brenna, you know, someone with a high backstab damage modifier. I'm not sure if you could win the game with magic either. I'm trying to think of the last fight. I don't know how effective elemental magic would be in that fight. The question is, can you dragon flame things from across? Oh my goodness, you can. From across the entire map, we can dragon flame. But Brenna knows lightning, right? Can we lightning from here? No. Why not? Is it just not in range? No. What's her lightning level? It's 10. It's as good as it gets. Perhaps the range is dictated by the wizard skill, but her wizard is 8. That's still pretty high. You'd think we'd be able to do it, but apparently not. Oh well, the bandits are fleeing. Good enough. We'll let them escape with their lives. We're maxed out on like everything. We would learn this later, and it's alluded to later. I think I'm just gonna say it now, because it makes exploring these ruins a little more meaningful. So this is like an older part of Terminor that got nuked. All because Maxwell couldn't control his wilding power. They reveal that later when we get into Terminor. Can we not get down there? I want to get off of this main part and explore, but I can't find a way off. Perhaps we have to go down the ramp and travel around. Anyway, so yeah, I think that's kind of a neat concept. It kind of shows why wildings are so terrifying. why people are afraid of them, and it foreshadows. Foreshadowing isn't quite the right word. It foretells. It gives a haunting image of perhaps what awaits Alaron's fate should he fail to contain the power within, so to say. It provides... I know what it is. It's one of those things in storytelling, you know, the show don't tell thing. They don't tell us it was horrible. We get to see firsthand that it was horrible. We get to actually see 102! Why is Alaron suddenly nuking everything? My goodness! I feel like this isn't a fluke anymore. He's consistently dealing these kind of insane numbers. It's a little nuts. But yeah, anyway, instead of just being told that things were horrible, we really get to see... Oh wow, Reed is almost dead. How did we let that happen? Yeah, we get to see the destruction firsthand, so... kind of a neat alternative than just being told everything was bad, end quote. I'm gonna laugh if he can dragon flame people from here. He cannot. Darn. Oh, he can from here, though. Maybe we should stop moving him closer to the enemies and instead, right in the beginning of a fight, move him more to the center of the map, where he can just AoE everything from a focal point of the battle. Troll fleas. You've got the right idea, Troll. Honestly, if you all fled, I would be okay with that. We're not dealing 100 to these ones. Is it because we're further away? Does distance matter? Wonder if we get closer if we'll do more damage. Let's test that out. Yeah, it's a little bit higher. 58. 61. It seems like it was higher, although that could just be coincidence. I guess we'll just let Alaron just continue fighting this on his own. There's no real reason to use anyone else. I'm also wondering if facing matters when it comes to spell casting. Like, if you're behind your opponent, do you deal more damage when you cast spells? And no, distance doesn't seem to matter because we're dealing lower numbers here. It just seems to be random. I feel like at this point, Alaron's sort of becomes scary. Like, the party's just off in the distance watching him stand on this hill while he obliterates these trolls. I feel like if anyone at Terminor was watching him, they'd be like, oh crap, the wilding is coming. He's going to kill us all. Like, I'd be afraid of Alaron at this point. Even though he started off the game as this weakling squire. Oh, Spirit's back. Hey buddy, alright, let's try to talk. Retorb, join. Are you the spirit? How? You want to fight? You'll... Oh, this is just the normal stuff he says. Are you the spirit? You've seen Cradall. Crawdall? Oh, gosh. It's not Cradwa at all. It's Cradall. Crawdall? How do you pronounce that name? How do you... I'm just gonna start calling him Frank. You've seen Cradall. What he told is truth. I am what is like you, but is not you. One we must be. As chaos rises, so must we. Join now, we will be finished, stronger. How? 2 energies, 2 spins, made one in balance. Reach out. Don't try to frighten me. I do not come to warn, I come to join. Reach out. So it's interesting. The spirit, while creepy and sort of unhelpful in the beginning of the game, legitimately isn't evil. He is your other half and is trying to join you. He's not wrong. We just can't join right now, so we're going to tell him no. You choose the end of both of us. You in madness, me in ancient cursed. Next time we meet as enemies. I think we already ran into him previously and he said something like that, but we hadn't ran into Card Doll before then. Have we ever done the fight where we try to join him? Oh, interesting. Okay, sorry. So he does say something different here. He asks us if we've been to Terminor to see. He's essentially. We'll just read this. So you can say, "Stay back. What will not join will end, or worse. You're dangerous, as are you. As is the one who wanders. I think the one who wanders is Rabisat. What have you seen in Terminor? Don't try and frighten me." So the spirit is alluding to Maxwell, who we are about to go see in Terminor. Anyway, I think that's where we're going to end it today. It's been a long recording, so this is as good a place as any other to stop. Right in the outskirts of Terminor, we'll probably do a little bit more exploring before we go into Terminor proper, just this countryside, and I definitely want to see what's on the other side of the ruins over there. But filling in more of the map, exploring more of Aidyn itself. Yeah, our adventure is taking us quite all around the place. Eventually we will run out of new places to explore. At any rate, I hope you enjoyed watching, getting to see more of what Aidyn Chronicles has in store in the later parts of the game. See you in the next one.